I don't know anything about this game. What Remains of Edith Finch? What remains? Yay! I need to fix my sound settings. Okay, let me use my controller. Hold on. Yeah, I have no knowledge. The only knowledge I have is an Instagram reel that was like, you should play Edith Finch. You should play what Remains of Edith Finch? And then the comments were like, oh my god, love this game. And I was like, sick, I'll try it out. And then apparently everybody knows this game except for me. Duty said it won multiple awards or was up for multiple awards or something. I don't know how to play. My controller isn't... Oh. My controller isn't working. Oh. How do I play with controller? Is it because it's PlayStation controller? Maybe if I use my Xbox One. Both of them are white. Oh, Xbox One works. Cool! Wait, guys, I'm so... Yeah, I have a PlayStation controller and an Xbox One. It's not a big deal. I have both versions. Okay, sick. But I don't know how to play. Okay, I got it.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that.
This is, I think, is a full, like, walking simulator story game. Interactive story. So we're basically about to watch a movie.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Cool. No, probably not like Dispatch. More, like, less gameplay than Dispatch.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Lewis died. Whoa, that looks really cool. Hold on, I want to see if I can up the brightness. Okay. Ah, I made it look bad.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
The Finches. Edith Finch, that's me! I'm Edith Finch. Oh, yeah, family tree. Okay, so there's Edith. Wait, how long does this game take? Edith? 3 hours? New game later. $3:30. Why 3:30? Let me just message everybody. Okay, I lied. 3:30. I lied. 3:30. And then over to group chat. I know, right? Also, I lied. 3:30 PST. Okay, I sent it to everybody.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Dear! Sorry, I was on my phone. I think I need my blanket. If we're gonna watch a movie, need my blanket to get comfy. Also, I'm a little nervous. Oh dear, we have 6 people, so I don't think.
Even after I inherited
I don't
the
think we'll
house,
play Oh dear
I
until
never
later.
thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Whoa.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Where's the guy who adjusts his
As a
seat
child,
recline?
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old,
I'm
I knew
17.
exactly what those words were.
I was born 1999. Oh, I'm the youngest.
I was afraid of the house.
This isn't a... Is this a scary game? It's not scary, is it? No, okay, good.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Okay, I'm stuck. Puzzle game, huh? Right. It's not really a puzzle game. I'm just stuck. How do I get inside the house? I'm sure I'll figure it out. Hey, backseaters, could you help me? I'm... Left side of... Okay, thank you. I thought I just went there. Oh, I can go around. Okay. Oh, right, because I have a key. Oh, side door. Okay, obviously. What is that? Oh, it's a hole, not an icon.
The house felt like it had always been here.
Secret!
Even the swing set was older than my mother.
Wind chimes. Oh, no key.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Cool.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
I thought I didn't like this place.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Oh, yeah, they're all dead. My whole family's dead. Wait, hold on. So it's 2016 right now. So my whole family's been dead for 6 years. Like the last person that died was my brother 6 years ago. In loving memory of Lewis Finch, that's my brother. Beloved brother to Edith, son of Dawn, great grandson to Eddie. That's kind of sad. Beloved brother to Edith, but not Milton. Oh, Edie.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house.
Chinese
so
food.
we had Chinese a lot.
I don't call that Chinese food. I just call it food.
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Molly cat. Apple pie. Lewis died at 22. Milton died at 21. Gregory died at 1. Gregory died at 1. He died as a baby. Gus died at 13. Dawn died. Oh, Dawn died a little older. 48. I don't know if that math is right. Walter died later, 53. Sam died at 33. Calvin died at 41. Nope, 11. Barbara died at 16. Molly died at 10. Edie died. Oh, Edie. Holy shit. Edie lived a long life. Edie died at 93. And Odin died at 57. Wait, so why is my generation dying so fast? They're all dying as kids. Or like young adults.
The table was
Am I
still a
gonna die?
wreck from the night we left.
Edie. Table was still a wreck.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Oh yeah, Edie. Edie's the one who lived for until like 93.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Yeah, I would not want to outlive my whole family. I don't want to outlive
Stay out of
anyone.
the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Okay. Fuck.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest
Too
of
many
the house.
funerals to pay for. Key. No key.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived
Ryan,
is
thank you for the
buried
new Prime.
somewhere in
Welcome.
the library.
Damn, so everyone is technically buried in here? Or
A lot of
presumably?
things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
I'm so curious what happened on the last
My
night.
mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Oh, Milton. He's the one. So he disappeared at 11 and is presumed to be dead. Cairo, thank you for the new Prime. Welcome.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Mom is Dawn. Dawn is mom.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Barbara. Okay, Barbara was previous generation. Or grandma's. Edie's kid. Yeah, Edie's kid. Okay.
Barbara
Wow,
was a child
died
star
at
for 2 years,
16.
until America grew out of it.
That is so scary to have the year that they lived on the people.
My goodness, 4 years of lurking sure passed by fast.
Moker, holy shit, happy birthday. Happy 4-year birthday, thank you. And Pancake, thank you for the gifts up to Edie.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Am I playing this correctly, by the way? Like, I'm not missing anything, am I? Or does it not matter? Yes, okay.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Edie. Sven. Sven just has a leaf. Sven.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
One is crazy. 11.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Sam and Calvin. So Edie is my great... Okay, Edie is my great-grandmother. The leaves are married into the family tree. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Molly, 10 years old.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Oh my god, this is like family home. Like grandparents, children's... This is the grandparents' childhood home. Poggers, dude!
Hi.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
Great uncle.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
This looks so cool.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Awesome!
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
I just got chills.
From the paintings on the wall, it was
Milton.
clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Milton's the one who disappeared. Yeah, locking the
But I
door
had no
behind
idea
someone's
what was
life?
behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Molly's room. Molly is one of my great aunts.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Edie and Sven. Barbara, Molly. Oh my god! So detailed, by the way. So much
I thought
detail.
The Sons Edie had spent a lot of time here.
December 13th, 1947.
Sorry. Molly died at 10 years old.
Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Oh, I'm playing as Molly now.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Okay.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Okay. That hungry? What does gonna be gone soon mean? Why am I stuck? Okay. She's dying already?
Mom, can I come out now?
Oh my god, they're like locked in here?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
I can't find any more food. Oh. So dark. Oh, I'm
I
short.
kept eating and eating.
Is this how she died? That's poison ivy.
I ate a lot of things.
No,
that
it's not.
night.
Is it? I don't know what poison ivy is. But that That's definitely not good.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Oh, Holly,
It was a
sorry.
barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Why am I locked in here? Don't fall out.
And suddenly,
Ah!
I was a cat.
What?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
I'm scared.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh, there they are. This...
I jumped and I almost got her.
I'm trying to... I'm trying my absolute best over here. God. Okay.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
This is spooky. I need to change my... Never mind. Oh, there we go.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Okay. Okay. I just don't know where they are. I see one. I missed. I got it.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Am I just like faded off of the toothpaste or what? What is the metaphor here?
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started
We'll see,
choking,
okay.
but I couldn't stop eating. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
I don't know how to go down. I see him.
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
No. No.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
I fucking missed? There's no way. I'm right here.
I grabbed on tight. And when I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh, hell no.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real wide.
The music is freaking me out.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rust. Belly with a rust.
Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
I'm so confused. This is why you should feed your kids, or they're gonna turn to monsters. Oh! Is this my
I
room?
got closer and closer.
No.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my
Oh,
breath
it was
for a long
it was a
time,
dream.
but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Did she get like food poisoning?
I'm not
She
sure
ate
if
the
I believed
poisonous
all of that,
berries in the
but I'm
bathroom,
sure
then
Edie would
hallucinated and
have.
died. Thank you. 나를 이거 봐, 그거 봐. 정말? Thank you. That's so scary. Why was she locked in here as a child?
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Whoa.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past.
You just have kind of a fucked
Though,
up family.
When we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Aww.
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
This is Edie's room.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest
Cool.
victims of the family curse.
Family
His wife,
curse?
Ingeborg, and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937,
Born son.
he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Yeah, I like the voice
But
acting in this
40-foot
too.
waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Oh my god.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Norway mentioned. Orcas
Odin
Island
Finch
mentioned.
is the first to be buried in the new
Poggers,
family
dude.
cemetery.
Hello, thank you for the new prime. Welcome. And Genkai, thank you for the 27 months.
His daughter Edie
Use
is
this, thank
already
you for the 5
dreaming
months.
of a new Finch house.
So there's a curse.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
That's sick. Mysteries of death and thereafter.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could
Dragon
have,
kills
but
Finn.
she didn't.
Sven was her husband. Molly's dad.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long
Oh yeah,
time.
that's me. I'm Edith. Conspiracy now. My friend Bigfoot. Hey, oh, Edith Jr. Lake Trip.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Oh, right, my brother.
Great Grandma had always been the family's biggest fan.
Built 1937, Sven Finch.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Pink bathroom.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
This looks horrible. There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
That is one fugly bathroom. Nice piss carpet though.
Thank you, Fringe Fields, for the 8 months.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Whoa. It is actually like hopping into a painting. Because all their secrets come from inside the books.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Milton again. With a swing set. Milton's been everywhere. Fort Calvin.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Sick house. Or sick room.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam.
Okay.
The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
Flap.
Oh, I can do both legs.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
I'm lopsided.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
My brother's leaving. Wait, hold on. I need to reset. I need to reset. I'm getting motion sick. I need to reset. Okay. Okay, there we go. This game does make me a little motion sick though. I'm kind of nervous.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Is this gonna make me
I told him
throw up
going
again?
around was impossible.
Yeah, the FOV is really tight. I wonder if I can... Sorry. Is there like FOV? No, there's not. Fuck. No.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
Is the only one like this? No, just the game in general. Like
And
walking
maybe
around is
it's
making me
still
motion
here.
sick as well.
But I doubt it.
But I think it's just me.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember
Oh my God.
about my brother.
This is how he dies? Stop.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
I'm starting to realize that it's not a curse, but just the parents being horrible parents.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember
How
trying
are you
to
gonna
do the
build a
exact same thing.
swing over a cliff with like the spikes on the fences right there too? Yeah,
After the
with
funeral,
little kids.
Edie roped off
Wait. Yeah, he died at 11.
Calvin's half of the
Genuinely
room.
the curse of bad parenting. My God. Especially if you know your kids tend to die. Like,
Mom said
yeah,
Grandpa
like
Sam
feed 'em.
enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Yeah, this is making me motion sick a bit. Oops. Oh, cool. So many book secrets.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Oh, this is... Okay.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
It's a shortcut. It's the whale room.
Growing up,
Barbara Finch.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
She died at 16.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family.
And the hero they deserved was Child Protective
The
Services.
surprise ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
Oh my God.
But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
Walter.
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, noted.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
The music.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
Oh.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter?
Oh, right, I was
What's going on up
babysitting.
there? Ah!
Walter.
Hey, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
This whole family sucks at taking care of kids. Fuck!
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Fuck!
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And young he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Oh.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Run! He's gone, isn't he? He called it.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Fuck.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh, hell no.
Oh dear.
Oh.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come
What?
true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself.
Oh, right, this is a storybook. I forgot.
Here, Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But
First group
unfortunately,
scene.
so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night.
Working overtime in
And
the coal
little
mines to
Walter,
make ends meet.
hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard.
Aw,
But
Walter.
that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all
Crazy
they
that Walter
ever
didn't
found
warn
of her.
Barbara.
Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Good one. I don't understand that one.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was.
Because that one's like a comic,
Maybe what
so it's
Edie
like a
saw
fake
was a
story.
happy ending.
I think her boyfriend killed her.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music
Oh.
box.
Oh. Oh. Oh! Because it was her biggest fan or whatever. Like, a bunch of stalkers. And, like, crazy people. Oh, fuck. That's horrifying.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Oh my god.
Mom said the basement was off limits.
Sven.
Unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Deaths are pretty much up to interpretations. There's not one possibility. Yeah, like even the swing one. Like
thought
I don't
maybe
think he
she was hiding
flew, you
presents.
know? Probably just fell off and got impaled.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Same with
I remember asking Mom
The Molly
once about
one.
where Walter had gone.
the Molly one was pretty like metaphorical.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
It's bad parenting.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after
Sorry.
a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
A monster.
Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just
Holy shit. January 1976 to
Stop.
2005.
Whatever that thing
28
was,
years.
it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
Yeah, the music changes.
Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
What a nice touch.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
This little chef thing.
I'm done waiting.
Why
I
was
have to leave.
Why was he
Well,
down
I still
here?
can.
It was the like he just stayed hiding this whole time.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara
Oh yeah.
and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake.
Fuck.
But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
He lived pretty long-ish, not
I'm
really.
going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week.
Or a day.
I'd be happy with one mere day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
That's really unlucky. That's just
Walter died when I
really
was 6.
unfortunate.
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Or a minute. Wait, what the fuck? That is so fucked. Yeah, the shaking was trains. But I'm confused on how it stopped.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Oh, construction. That is... This train was just late that day. That's really upsetting.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2,
Milton.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else.
Hoggers, dude! Furion,
But
thank you
now
for
I'm
the 2
worried
months.
the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
It was the mole man from the newspaper Edith had framed in her room. Really? I did not notice that.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Oh! I remember! I remember! Edith was talking to the
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died
newspaper
with me.
about the yeah, she told the newspaper about the mole man living in the house.
But I thought you should know about your family.
And then her mom was pissed. Edith's mom was pissed.
And the history.
Yeah, Grandma thought
you're
she was
a
going
part of.
crazy. Can I swim? No, I can't. Hold on, let me just make sure people...
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Hold on.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Time to check if she's really this crazy, like on the clips. I'm not. Especially not when I'm playing a peaceful game like this. We're just movie timing. My butt is
And
sore.
when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness
Ugh.
and madness. Any of it seems possible.
Game about murder is peaceful. I think only Barbara got murdered so far. The rest is just bad parenting. I'm stuck. Am I dumb? Oh, this way.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
It's
I'm going to the
embarrassing for me to
cemetery.
admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Okay.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Damn.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea.
Whoa. So pretty. Sven. Calvin with the rocket ship because he was trying to fly. Molly with the cat.
My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
My mom is Dawn. I keep forgetting my mom's name.
She could see it poking
I think
out of the
Edie
water
was
at low
her a
tide.
nickname, that's why. So her name was Edith, like me. I'm Edith Jr.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Do I go back?
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Sam Finch, Gus
Her dad
Finch,
had been pretty
Gregory
strict,
Finch.
but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so
Hi,
many
YRG
things I
hater.
wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Can I climb this? Yes. Edie leaning into the idea of the curse so much, making it real. Yeah. And just horrible mother.
But looking back on it now,
I think my mom was okay to not tell me about all this
if she
shit and
told me
like
there
freak
was
me
gonna
out,
be
you
so
know?
much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Edie's the bad mom. I'm 22 weeks pregnant? I'm pregnant? I'm pregnant! Oh my god, I'm pregnant. At 17. Yo, crack another
I
sorry
never
joke.
met Grandpa Sam, but
Tell me your
I think he
ethnicity.
and my mom had a lot in common.
We good to start young. Hold on. Let me remove before I... actually, no, it's okay. You can stay. I'm feeling too peaceful right now.
They were both pretty intense.
That's horrifying.
Dawn, I promise. You'll never forget
Is
this
this my
weekend.
dad?
More like Edie bitch.
Nope.
These memories are gonna last
This
a
is my
lifetime.
grandpa. You better thank Edith for my chill mood.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
I'm
Hey,
confused. Oh.
Language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
Okay, Dawn's dad. Hold on. So this is Sven, right?
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful.
Sam. Oh shit, my bad.
That camera's older than you are.
Okay, Dawn is my mom. Where the fuck is she? This is so difficult. Oh.
Hey.
Oh, that's me.
That's a keeper.
That's Sam.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
My
know
butt
who else
cheek
thought he
is
was gonna
sore,
be fine?
dude.
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
No, Dad. You're always serious.
I took a good picture
Doesn't
already.
being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin.
Bird. Oh.
Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish.
Oh.
How to build.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Fuck. Okay, good.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive. Great shot, Dawn!
Okay.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera.
That's
Try not to think about-
horrifying.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Okay, so that's how Dawn's dad, that's how my mom's dad died. That's horrifying. That whole situation was horrifying too. Fanfan holding the same face. Even that situation is terrifying. Like forcing your child to hunt and being like, no, this is good. And your kid's like, I don't wanna hunt, I don't wanna. And you're like, no.
My mom and
Do
dad
it.
got really close. They'd both lost
Baby
a
Charles,
lot.
thank you for the 2 months. Ryan, thank you. Gregory. Okay, that's my mom's brother, who died at 11. So young.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh?
Sam and Kay. That's my mom's mom.
When he thought he
My
was
mom's
alone?
mom and dad were getting
Like-
divorced.
Something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Gregory. Oh, he didn't die at 11. He died at 1.
about everything.
I can't go up.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Well, debatable. Literally was her fault.
I'm sure he's happy.
Don't think he's happy having drowned.
I keep wanting you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Never mind. It's a whole family of bad parents. The frog toy was in the pink bathroom? I didn't see it. That is crazy. Yeah, generational bad parenting. And it's not even just normal bad parenting. It's like bad parenting to the point of kids, like causing kids deaths.
Was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
That's cool.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Wow, I'm horrible at this. Yeah, how has the family not been investigated? They're just like, oh, it's a curse.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I now pronounce you
husband and
Who is this about?
wife. You may kiss the bride.
Gus. Okay. Sick.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
I am horrible at this.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Can I? Oh.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Right, okay. On my way. Nope. Nope. Oh, here. I have to pick up more.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said
Or a
was,
flying kite
"Make
in a
the music
thunderstorm.
louder."
Okay. There's the lightning. Hey guys! Water looks a little too active. Should probably get inside.
I wish that I could truly
Stupid.
say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Poem for Gus. Okay.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Yeah, crazy thing to admit. Like, oh my god. Where are his parents? Where the fuck are his parents? He was 13. Flying a kite out in a fucking thunderstorm. And Sam was... 13, 32. Sam was 32. Sam's the one who told him to come over. Or like just based on their born days. Sam's the one who called him over.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Crazy long climb.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
My thing is, yeah, things get messy at events, but also if I thought that we had a family curse that made it more likely for my kids to die, I'd keep even more track of my kids.
And got a job teaching
Like I'd be even extra careful.
Lewis was born a year later.
Lewis. That's my
When my dad
brother.
died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Milton.
And to see kids in the house again.
It's me. It's mine.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while,
Your character's
things
mom
were
thought that
good.
too, but her kids still,
Almost
but
normal.
still her kids died. That's what I'm saying. Horrible parenting.
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
They're just a rich white family. Whoa.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That's sick. Fuck. Fuck. Sorry, I wanted to see what happened. Oh, the painting sneezed. Oh yeah, he went
I
missing.
was 4 when Milton disappeared.
And he's also been everywhere in the house. I fuck with this music.
Mom spent months searching for my brother.
The first game, the
Then she sealed
unfinished
the
Swan.
doors.
Oh, I've never heard of it before. Oh, this is the music. Okay, I can just go back and forth. Unfinished Swan. I'm going down. Am I stuck in here forever? Guys, I'm struggling with this linear walking simulator. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, I found it.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Damn, Mom disappeared him? He did find a lot in the house, though. He's been everywhere. I keep seeing everywhere we go with the secret tunnels, there's always a Milton signature. Blueprints? Nope, I've never heard of it. Unfinished Swan. You did what to Prince? Wait, can someone put Blueprints and Unfinished Dawn into my stream ideas channel in Discord, please? So I remember it. I'm gonna forget. I'm fucking lost. Gotta go up. Outer Wilds? No, never played Outer Wilds either. Where? This is the right way?
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
I was already... Thank God this isn't... Oh, here! Thank God this is an open world. Dude.
Mom definitely
So
blamed
difficult.
Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just
Mom blamed Edie, Lewis blamed himself.
spent more and more time in his room.
Oh, this is
until
Lewis's
Mom got him
room.
a job at the cannery.
Outer Wilds? Can someone put Outer Wilds in my thing as well?
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Institute of Psychology.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something
I'm kind of
new.
going crazy with this multitasking, though.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Yeah, depressed.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Methodical, focused, and depressed.
I even encouraged him.
Horrible
It seemed very
psychiatrist.
promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, you find no fulfillment in your job and you feel like you have to imagine a world in order to feel any form of satisfaction and happiness? Keep doing you.
He built the city up slowly. brick by
Awesome.
brick. Then he made musicians.
Everyone in this game is so incompetent.
And songs for them to play.
Yesterday? Holy shit, what are the chances?
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
Yeah, like, well, your boss must be an accurate representation of how you're doing in life.
He no longer spoke at the cannery.
Okay, he's no
But
longer
his chopping
speaking.
was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
He just wanted an escape.
Election for mayor. And he won.
Yeah, boss's impression outweighs
begged
your
him to
feelings
stay,
and what you're
but
telling
his
your
mind was
psychiatrist.
already wandering. It became
He's
a
losing
game.
his mind.
He'd
Oh my
conquer
God.
a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
I like how the psychiatrist is. This is all psychiatrist notes. So like she fucking knew.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
She knew he was dissociating.
Even as his mother
Just
pleaded with
yeah.
him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
She called it out. She was like, he's becoming nonverbal at work. He is completely nonverbal, and now he is living in his imaginary world.
In Louisburg,
everything is
he
fine.
heard rumors of a
Queen.
Handsome queen.
Wow.
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
Shit. My fault.
He followed the sound of her
Fuck.
silver harp.
Rainbows hate to see you coming.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh, fuck.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For
Still
someone who'd
chopping.
never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
This is like Mael.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Maybe you should have stopped him before it got to this point.
He began to forget the world we know.
Fuck, that scared me.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Thanks for supporting me. Thank you. Therapist really feeling delusional. Thank you, everybody.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
I see it!
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Our sincerest condolences. That whole fucking letter is just basically saying, hey, I'm horrible at my job and I was an incompetent psychiatrist and a horrible professional. Yeah, this is me admitting to malpractice. I knew exactly what was going on with your son all along, but because he was doing right by his boss, I didn't try and help. And I am fully liable for his death. That's horrifying.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Yeah, right? Like don't get him into a spot where he needs to be saved. All the signs were there and she saw him. Whoa. Only thing the letter missed was contact details for a lawyer. But then, of course, his shitty mom also does not realize that it was malpractice and it's just like, oh, it must have been a curse.
She waited until
No, my son wasn't depressed. He died because of a curse. There were no mental health issues at hand. There's been a family curse in our family tree for years and generations.
I wish
Dawn
understand why he
blames
left.
Edie for all the deaths. I guess that did start with Edie, but like she was pretty neglectful too.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Here's the picture.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
That was not the 60s. That was 2010.
But it had to end one way or another.
Pretty ass
All
room.
that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
Does mental illness run in your family? Nah, it's just the curse. Oh, this is my room. This is... Oh.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
Haven't I learned nothing? Why
Until
am I
supper,
writing in a
she
diary?
raised her glass and said,
Hi, baby.
To our final night together.
baby.
And all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hall. Why don't you go open?
Ignores.
The grown-ups
They're eating
have
food.
to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy
Yeah,
our
writing in a
lives.
diary is like a death note. Baby.
Edith, you're excused.
Hold on. Sorry, my dog's yelling at me. Left. And Tari, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Peak chatter.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sailed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Oh shit. This is the library.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
The curse. The curse of bad parenting.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I
Ow.
think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Debatable. Well,
We'll have
I
the
don't think
nursing
it's the
home send a van
stories.
for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many
That's
stories.
certainly
I
an
wish I could
interpretation.
But there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house
The voice
every
acting
day
is
of
really
my
good in
life.
this game, though. Like, everyone's voice acting has been peak.
But I never thought I'd go
So
back
is
to it.
Leon.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
The stories of the curse keep encouraging future generations to
turned
not be
around.
accountable and be reckless, which keeps getting them killed. Oh. I got turned around. Fuck, I'm always turned around.
For a while, I wandered.
I feel like I was walking straight.
I started seeing things.
Here. Proper journalism.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
The deer, like Sam's deer.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
This game got a lot of nominations, won some awards. That's what Duty said. I really have been living under a rock. I need to play more good games like these.
I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
Mom,
It's mine.
stop!
Edith.
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I kicked and screamed,
Bitch.
but Mom dragged me to the car.
Ugh. Oh, I'm dragged in a car.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
I did play Before Your Eyes. I loved it. What? That's really fucking sad.
The next morning, the band came to pick her up.
Controller's vibrating
She was
so
already
much.
gone.
What do you mean gone?
After that, we moved around a lot.
Among the Sleep? Mm-mm.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
That's sick.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Still sad.
And then I was alone.
I loved Heavy Rain.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
My baby.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Is this?
But now I hope you'll never see it.
Okay.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself.
Making sure.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
We're getting birthed. There's the vulva.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
What? How could she have known, though? She predicted... Oh, she wrote in the book in case she died. Holy shit. Jesus. Oh, wait, this game is really good. Damn. Dad chose the save the kid option. Wait, we did talk. Did we talk about that, Cam? I feel like I've talked about this with so many people. I don't know. Oh yeah, we did. If I was giving, okay, if you guys were giving birth, right? Or if you're wife was giving birth, would you save the baby or the mom? Or would you want your baby to be saved or yourself? Mom, right? Okay, yeah, me too. Same. We can have another one. Fuck that guy, don't even know him. Yeah. Okay. Same. Mom, I don't care if she hates me, she's more important to me. Okay, that would be my choice as well. Yeah, this dad chose to save the baby option. Wild. Wait, this is a really good game. This game reminds me of a real life family called the Von Erichs that had a family curse. Wait, I'm gonna look it up. Von Erichs. Well, the thing is, I told you guys that I don't cry. Like it is sad, but I only cry when it's animals or old people or like parents. Like this is like whole family sad shit, people dying, bad parenting. Noko counts as an animal, so I don't think I would have ever cried at this game, but it is really sad. Wait, Emma, what is your oh my god, that was you! Oh my god, that was you! Alvin! Oh, Edie is her name? That's really cute. It is really sad. But like, holy fuck, the parenting though. Like maybe the curse is real if she died in childbirth, or it's real because it's like she believed in the curse, so she like manifested it. You know? But then so many of those deaths were just such bad parenting. Let me see. Gus, bad parenting. Gregory, definitely bad parenting. Lewis, bad parenting / psychiatrist's fault. Dawn just got sick. Sam, unlucky, but was also being a bad parent. The replay a story option is now available. Select either to play from the beginning. Oh, that's sick. Oh yeah, and teen pregnancy too. She's only 17. The pictures being here kind of makes it feel eerie. Watch this off stream sometime. Wait, what is it? Do I have to watch it off stream or can I watch it on stream? Barbara's? Yeah, Barbara's is scary. I did play Stray. Give me the worst motion sickness ever. Just an hour? Let me see. The Villain of Edith Finch. Ooh. That happened to you on Stray? I got so motion sick I threw up on the last chapter. I couldn't deal with it.
What Remains of Edith Finch is best described as a vastly more complicated and interactive version of those pop-up books you may have played with as a child, the ones with the pull tabs that move things on each page. There's even one of these in Edith Finch itself that you find early on.
It is so cool, though.
It's hard to recommend What Remains of Edith Finch to everyone, even though it is one of the most beautiful stories I've ever encountered in the interactive medium. It has a few sequences that are well worth experiencing yourself, but it's important to know that it is firmly a story. Your input is limited to walking around, interacting with things like those pull tabs.
I'm so happy. I played 2 beautiful ass games in 2 days.
The exceptions to that are found in specific sequences when you become a different character.
I feel like I played such good games yesterday and today.
So if you're interested in stories alone, then I recommend you stop watching so you don't spoil it for yourself. It's only about 2 hours long, so it's not a big time commitment.
The second game, I played My Little Puppy yesterday.
It may also help pique your interest, because What Remains of Edith Finch isn't the type of story you'd expect to have a villain, and yet to me, it has one of the most insidious yet sympathetic characters I've seen in recent memory.
Wait,
There
are
will
you
be
guys?
spoil-
Can you guys put all the suggestions in my Discord so I don't lose them and I can browse them myself in the stream ideas channel? Okay, I'm seeing a lot there already. Okay, good.
Spoilers from this
Thank
point
you.
onward.
Okay, thank you.
But I had no idea.
I will
what was
check them
behind
out.
that door.
The story begins on a boat. You have no idea who you are or where you're going. Eventually, you'll look down and see a book in your lap that you can open. You
Gone
may
home?
also
No.
notice the flowers and a cast on your right arm.
Same with Firewatch.
The book is entitled Edith Finch. On the first page are 2 false starts that have been scribbled out, both of which state the same sort of
I didn't even notice this.
thing. My family never seemed strange to me when I was growing up. On the next page, the first paragraph begins to glow, and we move to another scene with another character. This is the beginning of 2 trends that we'll be seeing again and again, a creative use of subtitles, and that what remains of Edith Finch is a bunch of stories within stories. Although Edith is the main character and narrator speaking to us through this book, everything we experience is nestled in a layer underneath that boat ride at the beginning, which is something you may forget after a while. The story is
thank you for the new
primarily
Prime.
about
Welcome.
this withered family tree of dead children. There's a curse following the Finches, and it has claimed every member of the family except for Edith herself. Her mother is the most recent victim, and after the funeral, a mysterious
do
key that Edith
1.25.
inherited has led her back to her unusual family home. She's 17 years old and alone in the world. The goal is to discover what happened to everyone else in the family. This is marked by those branches on the tree in her book. As you learn about each dead aunt, uncle, sibling, and grandparent, Edith fills in the tree with a short sketch above their birth and death years.
My mom brought me food, so I'm able to watch this on normal speed now.
There are 13 entries on this tree, but only 9 of them involve sinking another layer deep into the story within a story. When Edith discovers a book or a letter that explains what happened to them, which you act out in first person. It's important to realize that
That's
each
so
of
real.
these
I don't know
sequences
why.
is a recreated
I feel like I can get
experience
cozy
of how
and
they
watch
died, but also sits with
slow-
a wild
slower
amount of
videos when I
variance
have
on
food.
the unreliable narrator scale. Not
Sorry.
everything is meant to be taken at face value. At the beginning, however,
Rice
things
and
are
meat
a bit jarring
and
for
veggies.
2 reasons. The first is that Edith
Much
Finch is
more
like me,
balanced
she
meal than
never
canned
shuts up.
peaches.
That's a rude way of putting it because that was my initial reaction.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
I wanted to be able to figure things out and notice them myself without having Edith point them out and rob me of that enjoyment. What I failed to realize this early on is that her narration is crucial
like,
because
"Fuck off,
everything
Edith."
we experience is translated through her perception of events,
Mm.
just like the stories she finds and reads through her journey. This is important when it comes time to process
loved it,
everything that
Gatekeeper.
happens in search of answers. Also, just because Edith does speak a lot doesn't mean there aren't things
Hey,
you have
listen.
to notice yourself. There's a surprising amount of this if you're paying attention. The first time we're finding trigger points for more of that narration. Early on here are details about the deaths of both of your brothers. Milton went missing many years ago and was never found, and that Lewis died shortly before Edith and her mother left the house and never came back until now.
The theories
But
about this
far
game must
more
be
rewarding
crazy
are
good.
Details Edith doesn't comment on, or things you can notice earlier than
Like
some
Reddit
others might.
theories?
For instance, I looked down in this opening scene and saw that Edith had a bit of a tummy. You can see your body but not your feet unless you're walking, because your stomach is in the way. About an hour
didn't
later,
notice
you're
that.
told directly that Edith is 22 weeks pregnant, but you could have also pieced this together early on and linked it back to the opening scene on the boat. It's my opinion that much of the story and what remains of Edith Finch is left for you to discover through these details. The key difference between this and other stories that I've criticized for doing this sort of thing is that it's clear the writers do have an answer for almost everything and want you to figure it out, whereas other stories are vague to give the impression of a story when there isn't one.
Damn! Holy
This is
shit!
directly linked to the second thing that's
Direct
jarring about the
shade
opening,
is
the house,
crazy.
which is weird and wonderful in the distance, but also fucking bananas.
Oh
Edith may say herself at the beginning that she didn't know any different as a child, so she didn't realize how strange it all is, but everyone else here will notice. The house looks like a monstrous tower growing out of the forest, and even worse, inside most of the rooms have been sealed closed and then drilled with holes so people can peep through like they're all front doors to other worlds. This is beyond unreasonable. However, it's
Why are we
explained in a
booing
way
him?
that
I
makes
didn't say
perfect
he was
sense later,
wrong.
but only if you're paying attention. The Finches are a family that are equal parts disturbed and brilliant. Everyone is deeply creative and driven.
It's called The Villain of Edith Finch by Joseph Anderson.
Driven
That's
to
the
leave their
video.
mark on the world, or at least this house. The true tragedy of this family is that this is intertwined with the curse that's killing them, perhaps far more deeply than they realize.
The rice is
Edith's mother,
soggy.
Dawn, is arguably the most normal of any of the Finches, and yet even she was compelled to travel the world to
I
help
agree.
people, and even wrote and published at least one book on teaching. The others are builders, soldiers, artists, or those that lose themselves deeply in their own imagination, especially for the younger Finches that died before they could fully realize their creative potential. So even though this beginning is crazy, with the strange sealed doors with looking holes like the whole house slowly mutated into a mausoleum, it eventually makes a lot of sense. It's important to know that Edith has never been allowed into most of these rooms until now, which is demonstrated with one of the best lines in the story.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
From here, you find a padlock in a book that accepts
Beautiful
the inherited
line.
key and begin following a path through the house that leads to each of these sealed rooms. We'll get to why they were sealed to begin with later, but for now let's go through each of the stories within Edith's story. Odin brought the Finch family to America but died during the trip. He attempted to sail the family house across the ocean and then sank with it. His daughter Edith Sr., who goes by the name Edie so you're not confused between your character and hers, survived along with her husband Sven and their daughter Molly. Edie is Edith's great-grandmother, so 3 big jumps on the tree here.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
They begin construction of the new family house. 2 important details are that the old house is visibly sunk in the water outside, and that Edie decided that the cemetery should be built
mic
first,
changed.
before the house. The family curse was already alive and kicking before this point, and Edie was certain it had followed them to America.
I like when he
Odin's
says
death.
it's important to know, because then
And
I
every
lock
death
in on that.
after that.
Sanjay is my dad,
Edie and Sven
right? Dawn and Sanjay were together.
had 5 children, 2
Yeah.
girls, then twin boys, and then another boy. Molly was their first child.
He wasn't
and
in
it's
the
her story
game.
that we experienced first as well. She was only 10 years old when she died, and the first-hand account of her death is both one of the longest in the story and one of the most ambiguous. You find her journal in her room and read the final entry, wherein Molly claims she knows she'll be dead soon. Molly was sent to bed without any dinner, presumably because she was misbehaving. You control Molly as you search her room for anything to eat. She considers eating her goldfish, but ends up gnawing through a stale carrot from her gerbil cage, downing an entire tube of toothpaste, and eating some berries resting on her bathroom windowsill. You can search for Halloween candy, but the pumpkin is empty. You can also try to open the door and discover that she's been locked inside, and hear Edie tell her to go to sleep.
Crazy.
It's late. Go to sleep.
The story changes when a bird appears outside.
Like, check
The
on
window is
her.
chained, but can be opened enough that a little girl could slip through. This is the first of a handful of moments where I think the story intentionally subverts expectations.
Yeah,
I
check
thought
on
the
your
girl was
fucking
going to end up
10-year-old,
falling
maybe.
through the window as she's reaching for the bird, and that's how she died. It wouldn't make sense because then how did she write the journal entry you're reading? But that's where my mind immediately went. Instead, Molly suddenly transforms into a cat.
Oh, he thinks she fell out the window? I don't think she fell out the
and
window.
leaps
I think
through
it's
the window. You
she
then
got
chase
poisoned.
the bird through the
Oh, he did
trees
at
as a
first.
cat,
Okay.
eat the bird, and then go through another transformation
Sorry.
into an owl.
I'm
You
bad
eat
at
2
listening,
rabbits
I
in
guess.
a surprisingly unsettling perspective, swallowing them whole like this, and then transform again. This spectacle goes on for quite a while.
You were
with
an
Molly-
animator on this? Dude, that is crazy. That is crazy. Wait. 2 people came. Someone else who worked on the game was here earlier too. Oh my god. We loved this game, Thomas.
Continuing to state how
I just finished it and I'm watching this video on it.
hungry she is. She turns into a shark next, eats a seal, and is still hungry.
Yeah, Alvin's here.
She then turns into a monster and attacks sailors on a nearby boat.
Dude,
You
awesome
control
game.
all of this in a slithering game of leapfrog along the way to each person. Then the final change takes place when Molly, as monster, smells something far more delicious than anything else far away from the boat. She swims to a pipe on the coast, climbs up through a toilet and into a bathroom in a house, and immediately you might guess where this is going. You snake your way through Molly's bedroom and take your hiding spot, the standard monster under the bed. Then Molly wakes up in the same bed and begins writing the journal entry that you've been reading, confident that she's about to be
Wait, this
eaten
is-
by the monster lurking underneath her.
You know, now I'm thinking about it, the only complaints I have with this game are like fake complaints. Like, they're not complaints about the game, they're complaints about the the characters and the character choices, which is just part of the story. That I'm just like bitching about it like it's reality TV.
This is all the information that you're
Such a
given, and
perfect
Molly
game.
is presumably found dead the next morning, or dies shortly afterward, or goes missing and is never found at all.
Like the
just
shitty
your brother
parenting.
Milton.
It needs to be, and we both know I will be.
No writers in here? No, I think the writing's amazing. I think the writing's really good. It's just
So what's really going on here? First of
I hate
all,
the
this is
fucking
some
characters.
pretty great storytelling.
I hate some of the
transition
characters.
from the girl's hunger to what is clearly
Which
a
means
dream
it's good
to what
writing.
then loops back to the same bedroom with an oh shit moment is wonderful. The only thing I can criticize is that the shark falling down this hill looks a bit crap. What really
You're gonna take that, Tom? You're gonna take that? Homer, he's talking to you.
happened is left up to you to decipher, just like Edith herself has come back to the house to figure out. If you
To be fair, it's a fucking shark rolling down a cliff. What is he supposed to do?
space out on the diary entry date like I did at the beginning, there are many clues that nudge you into realizing how Molly died. The empty Halloween bucket is the first one. Then there's the small Christmas tree at the window, and more obviously, the calendar showing it's December. There's also the sea monster drawing on the blackboard and the squid-shaped pillow, among other things in the room. The berries she ate in the bathroom were mistletoe, which is highly poisonous. In reality, that's not exactly true, but it's well known enough that for the sake of this story, we should accept it in my opinion.
Details.
Molly ate those berries on top of a tube of toothpaste and a decaying carrot, and then went back to sleep. She then became sick, which fueled her dreams into what you played through. There was no monster. She died from being poisoned or whatever sickness she developed afterward. Back in her story, Edith draws a sketch of Molly into her book and then goes out the window to follow a similar path that the cat did in her dream. In Edie's room, you find a ton of important details about her character, but no death scene. There are images that tell you how Odin died on the way to America instead. You also find out about her husband Sven, who died building a dragon-themed slide on the side of the house. Edie likes to tell this story as an actual dragon killed him. Neither of these characters get their own death story to go
Parks
through.
and Rec, thank you for the 7 months.
Up next are Calvin and Sam, Edie's twin boys, who shared a room for many years. Another one of those details you can notice yourself is in here with the marked heights on the door that stop at a young age for only one boy. Calvin's death has a similar fantastical layer to it as Molly's death, since it's told through a note Sam wrote about him. You play this sequence out as a boy on a swing that's trying to go
I love
high
the way
enough that they loop right
they
around
switch
the
over
branch
from
at
the
the
note
top,
to the
which is something I think
the
most
scene.
kids who went on a
Sick.
swing a lot thought about when they were young. In this sequence, Calvin succeeds in his attempt and, as Sam puts it, was finally able to fly. In reality, he went right off the swing, over the cliff, and fell to his death, at the age of 11 compared to Molly's 10.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Dumbass parents.
Barbara's room is next, but not before you open an unexpected shortcut back to the main part of the house from inside a wine cupboard, which means I can make my obligatory Dark Souls reference even for something like What Remains of Edith Finch. Barbara was the most famous Finch. She was a child star in what looks like some campy horror show with Bigfoot. Her stardom didn't last long though. Her story is told with more layers to obscure the truth than any of the others, because it's a Tales from the Crypt Keeper style comic book about her death. Edith even comments that it's strange that Edie kept it and even put it on display in Barbara's room. The story in the comic is that Barbara, now 16 years old, is living a boring life as a forgotten, washed-up child star. She suddenly has a new opportunity when she's given a chance to repeat one of her performances at a local horror convention. She winds up missing her chance when her father Sven hurts his hand and has to be taken to hospital by Edie. Barbara is left looking after her younger brother Walter, while her boyfriend continues to coach her with acting lessons. As the night progresses, it becomes more like a parody of old horror movies. The boyfriend goes missing and you have to take control of one of the comic panels to go looking for him. It turns out he was trying to scare you to help you get into character for your big scream at the horror convention.
Oh dear.
The radio is also blaring out a warning that a band of criminals are terrorizing the area. A hookman ends up invading the house and Barbara fights him off. Younger brother Walter goes missing, and Barbara is killed by a pack of monsters that left the convention to find her, but not before they get to hear her trademark scream one last time. Barbara's boyfriend is missing and never seen again. Walter was apparently hiding under the bed and witnessed enough of it to be scarred for life. All they find of Barbara, in the comic at least, is a severed ear in a music box in the downstairs hallway, something her father made specially for her.
Eerie tale.
An important detail in the comic is that it reveals how to get into the basement. If you keep turning the handle on the music box, a key pops out which lets you unlock the door.
The top comment on the video, excuse me, that shark falling down the hill is an artistic masterpiece. Yeah. That was so unintentionally hilarious and slapstick. I agree. I was there and I was like, what the fuck? What are we
point? Until you read this comic, you don't know how to do this and the basement is locked off. Barbara's death is more likely caused by the boyfriend. Each of these stories has a bit of truth to them, as you can see from the broken part of the railing where the struggle took place. And my guess is that the fight they had in the basement got out of hand. And
really?
The railing where the struggle
oh my god!
Took place. And my guess is that the fight they had in the basement got out of hand and he killed her. Which is why the boyfriend was never seen again since he fled, probably out of panic. Walter's story is after this, and his death is directly linked to what happened here, what he saw when Barbara was killed. The dates of each death show that Calvin died shortly after Barbara, so in rough terms, by the time you get to the beginning of Walter's story, Edie only had 2 children left. Molly, Barbara, and Calvin are dead. Only Walter and Sam are still alive. Walter's story is on the shorter side. You discover it when you go through the basement and find a hidden door in a refrigerator at the bottom. This leads to a secret underground bunker where Walter lived for 30 years. Barbara's death was so traumatizing for Walter that he was unable to cope with the real world. He describes this as a monster waiting to get him, the Finch family curse. This is a visible rumbling for him as he settles into a daily routine in his restrained life. You experience this routine by opening the same can every day in the same position.
I love the music part in this game.
He has one of the best lines in the story here when he describes his life as so comfortable and cushioned that even the monster at the door has become routine, almost friendly. Then, after 30 years of this, he has finally recovered enough to venture outside. He goes down to the area he was using to store extra supplies and garbage, and that creative use of subtitles is back as he hammers his way through a wall to the outside.
But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
I will say, I loved his voice actor.
I don't usually comment on this sort of thing much, but I'd feel like this video would be incomplete if I didn't point out how much the music adds to this scene. The way it represents Walter's newfound hope as he steps toward the light of the outside world for the first time in 3 decades.
I didn't even realize that 10 years later.
I went through the story twice, and this got me both times.
I have a year left.
I can't believe this was the first game you worked on.
Or a single week.
Tom, thank you for the gift of sub to Thomas.
I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
It's especially profound given that Walter's words were already written on the note Edith is reading before he got out and walked along this tunnel, which is why the train that immediately appears and kills him is so twistedly ironic.
That one was the funniest one, I will say.
In the bunker, you can find a train set that Walter has.
Because he goes 1 year, 1 month.
I don't know the full intent.
Just a day, but then it wasn't a day. It was like a minute
behind that detail, or if the rumbling he felt was meant to be the train passing by each day. It doesn't quite make sense if that's the case, because it was the fact that it stopped happening that led him to leave the bunker.
First job in the industry. You must be so proud of yourself.
Running, maybe a little
you
later
should be
than
so
usual
proud
if
of
the rumbling
yourself.
Was caused by them. It's also worth pointing out that the death he was so afraid was waiting for him outside the door to snatch him if he left got him within the first minute that he was free. Following this story is Edith following in Walter's footsteps.
Lasting a minute is quite impressive, actually. It's a long time. Yeah, too long,
it's important to know that Walter was living below the house for so long that Edith was alive and living there when this death occurred.
Walter died when I was 6.
2005. Oh, shit!
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Walter was the last of Edie's children to die, and even
that
made
is
it
wild
to pass
that
the
we were alive.
disappearance of Edith's brother Milton. Just like Walter's scene in the tunnel, I found this next sequence to be extraordinarily beautiful. Edith wanders along the shore, staring at the water, and is digesting all of the stories she's read so far. Some of the most important lines in the whole story are said here, but we're going to skip ahead to the cemetery and the next round of deaths. We'll come back to this later. Every dead Finch is enshrined here over...
I didn't miss that, did I? The most important lines in the whole story? I did. Did I overlook the water and ponder about the stories that I've seen so far? I did. Like, I did see it, right?
Water, a link back to the
I might have yapped. Oh, fuck! I hate when this guy says important. And then I think about it, I'm like, I think I missed
sunken house
it.
that Odin's statue is pointing toward, because every
Why can't
room
I
in the
shut
house
the
being
fuck
a
up
dedication
sometimes?
wasn't quite enough for Great Grandma Edie.
Like, just
this
watch
shows
the fucking
a staggering
game.
amount of investment in memorializing the dead. There's also a sick detail here that I didn't notice until my second time through.
I remember a
Crown on the
distinct
tombstone
lack
for
of
Lewis's
pondering
grave.
in your playthrough.
The next death scene is with Sam, the only child
The
of
channel
Edie's that
is
you haven't seen yet.
Joseph
Sam is
Anderson.
Edith's grandfather. He married a woman named Kay and had 3 children, Dawn, Gus, and Gregory. So our journey can be seen as moving through 3 phases. You fill in the generation below Edie's first, then Sam's children, and then Dawn's children, of which one is you, Edith Finch. Sam's death is the most pure form of dramatic irony in the entire story, because you know that there's going to be a death, as there always has been so far, and yet everything is steady and peaceful.
The hunting one.
Sam has taken Dawn on a hunting trip, just the 2 of them. The date of his death
That
is
must
a
be
year
pretty
after
fucking
Gus died,
traumatizing
which
for
means
Dawn,
that
though.
both of his sons are gone, and Dawn is his only remaining child. He is surprisingly content despite losing 2 children, and is calm when he interacts with Dawn. You play the role of the camera
You
that
missed
they
this one?
take
This one's
turns
good.
holding to create pictures
Well, this
of
one
the
was
trip.
shocking.
Things start to take a darker turn when Sam insists on shooting a deer that Dawn spotted with the camera. You get a photograph of the precise moment that Dawn shoots the animal, and the next scene is her crying over it in the dramatic display that Sam has set up to commemorate the moment. You control him as he starts the camera timer and run up in time for the picture to be taken, which exactly matches the point that the deer reveals itself to not be dead after all, and knocks Sam to his death. Edith comments after
That's
this
the
that
death.
her mother never told her this story, and that she wishes that she had.
Yeah, right? Like,
Gregory and Gus are
yeah,
next,
this
and
death
they're
was
both fairly
deserved.
short sequences. If you know how these go already and
dear.
have watched my videos for a while, then you can probably guess how I feel about one of them. I have 2 boys. One is less than 2 years old. The other isn't even
it's the
5 months yet.
baby in
I
the
think I
tub.
bring this up a little too often in videos, but I'd be a liar if I said it wasn't relevant here, because Gregory's scene is the death of a 1-year-old baby. For me, this was the most horrifying part of the whole story, and not just because it's depicting the death of a small child, it's that it was done with such a happy song and dance.
He didn't even
like
know what was
someone had
going
broken into your
on.
home at night, tied you to a chair, and decided to put on a full clown outfit and do a funny dance to Disney music while holding the knife behind his back, and if you don't look happy enough that this is happening, he's just going to kill you sooner. You know what's going
Very
to happen
specific
here, and
example.
yet it's bright and colorful, and the music is glorious. The whole thing is majestic, like it's a celebration that this baby is going to drown. The story justifies this because it's written from the perspective of Sam, who has combined both a eulogy for his son and a plea to his wife that this wasn't her fault.
Except
It focuses on how this baby was always so happy and must have seen the world as a very different, very joyous place compared to most, which becomes the twisted scene that you see now. I don't know what the intention was here, and I feel like my reaction is the odd one out. I think this is meant to show that there can be beauty in the world, and that even though this baby drowned in the bath, that he was happy right up until that
No,
moment.
I think I agree with
But for
this
me,
guy's.
this takes a nosedive.
Wait, is that the general consensus that like, oh, the meaning is that there's joy, there's beauty in the world? I think this guy has the more common and logical take, which is that this is just purely fucked up.
Right into pure horror when you start to think about the baby's drowning consciousness fading, fading, fading. His arms change color, and the bath toys are now enormous in this underwater
He just
paradise,
becomes the
like
frog.
They're greeting him in death and encouraging him to join them. This is him dying right now, his stream of consciousness as
Yeah,
he
textbook
drowns.
negligence.
And his swimming animation here may actually be him struggling out of instinct to get his head back above the water.
Philippines mentioned.
He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck.
Yeah, that one was horrifying. I keep using that word.
Gus dies 5 years later at a wedding that takes place on the beach outside the house. Dawn wrote a poem about it, and
This
you
one's just
controlled the kite that
stupid,
Gus was
too.
flying
This one's
that day
so
to swoop
deserved,
around to
like,
highlight all
what?
of the words. This becomes more
Well,
nonsensical
not deserved
as
on the
time
kid,
goes
but-
on, with chairs and other objects being swept up in the wake
Come
of
on.
the kite to represent the building storm on the ocean. The death blow in this sequence comes when the tent itself is tangled up and swept along with that storm, but it's unclear if that's what really happened or if the storm killed Gus in another way and his body was found later on. My guess while doing this was the cliche that he was going to be struck by lightning while his kite was still in the air. After this, you climb a wall to the new part of the house, the misshapen tower that you saw earlier that seems tacked on to the top because that's exactly what happened. Dawn married a man named Sanjay, and after he died, she moved back to the house with her 3 children. Edie, who is clearly fabulously wealthy, expanded the house so they could have their own area on top of it. Each child got their own room, a central living and eating area, and even a schoolroom for Dawn to teach them at home, which is where you can find the books that she wrote. There are only 2, arguably 3 sequences left to go through now. One is Milton's disappearance, which Edith proclaims is the beginning of when things got bad. Life at the house was happy and normal
I wish
for
I
a
understood
while,
Milton's.
But then Edie built Milton
Please, I should just keep watching.
a castle for a
stop
new
yapping.
bedroom. Shortly after that, he went missing.
Yeah, I wish I knew what happened to Milton, especially because his name was all over the house, so like he knew about everything.
This one is
and all
told
the
through
secret
a flip
tunnels.
book you find in Milton's room because, like Edie, he was a gifted artist. This flip book shows one of his paintings coming to life and granting him a magical
I'm not smart enough to
paintbrush
understand
create
it without
a
it being
doorway
told to
another
me.
world. I hate to do this, but there's already a bunch of details that I've skipped over because they'll be more relevant at the end, so we're just going to acknowledge that this is all you discover about Milton here and move on.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, and that you can actually stop and flip the pages here one by one, which I thought was a neat detail. This
I like
isn't
that.
just an animation baked in that does the whole thing for you. You can pause it.
I did love that. That is such a nice touch. Yes, Joseph Anderson.
So that leaves us with Lewis. I'm going to do something now that I haven't done in a video since I think The Witness or Soma.
I have a meat
I'm
stuck in
going
my
to
tooth.
repeat my spoiler warning. In
Dog
my
glitter,
opinion,
thank you for the new tier
Lewis's
1,
scene
welcome.
is worth the asking price for what remains of Edith Finch all on its own. That's not to say that there aren't other worthwhile moments in this story. I think we've already seen a few of them, but this sequence with Lewis's death is simply incredible. I'll do my best to emulate it here for the sake of discussing it, but
this
if
whole thing
anything
was
that I've shown you so
S-tier.
far has looked like a good time to you, then please stop the video and do this part yourself. It's real close to the end too, so you can see that and form your own thoughts before hearing mine. I'm going to risk saying that nearly everyone is going to be able to relate to this scene with Lewis, and if you don't, then you should count yourself very lucky. Because
Fair.
it means you've never been forced or stuck doing a monotonous task that leads you to an inevitable bout of daydreaming. A wanderlust to be doing anything other than what you are now. A soulless job or a daily chore that eats up a ton of time. As you can see, Lewis takes this one step further than most. This scene is wonderfully narrated by his psychiatrist in a letter to Lewis's mother, Dawn. The performance of this letter, both formal and subtly emotional at the same time, is the perfect match for the otherwise bizarre visuals you'll be interacting with. It's as
Worst
though even she
psychiatrist
was traumatized by
ever.
what happened and is struggling to accept that she almost understands why he did what he did. Your right hand on the mouse controls the hand putting the fish under the guillotine. Your left hand is on the keyboard moving an imaginary character through a fantasy world. You have to do both at the same time, your boring job and your daydream. If you're like me, you'll have another great moment of subverted expectations here. This is of course going to end in death, and what could be more obvious than the daydream taking over, and Lewis losing concentration, putting his whole arm under the guillotine along with the fish. This is not what happens. The fantasy world of Lewis's imagination slowly grows in complexity as this goes on, first to a far more advanced perspective of the world, then to other characters, then music, a city instead of a flat maze in a cage.
I just played
It gets
this
more
game and I'm
difficult
watching
to
the
navigate
review.
along with these changes, but it also becomes more visually appealing.
Psychiatrists are more like professional drug.
With
That is
all of these
true.
changes, more of your attention is getting
That is
drawn
true.
away
You
from the
needed a
fish that you
therapist.
continually need to chop, something that doesn't have a regular rhythm to it, so even that can't be something you demote to muscle memory. Your
He needed-
attention is being pulled like a
He needed the psychiatrist to recommend him to a therapist.
of war between the two, and while I was doing this, there was the added tension of avoiding getting my arm stuck under the blade, which I'll further confess I thought I could break the set piece as long as I paid enough attention to not put the fish too forcefully
Same! Oh my god! Wait! I was doing the same thing. I was right sticking to put it to the right to get chopped, and I was consciously avoiding putting it too far in because I thought he was gonna chop his hand
the
off.
guillotine. Even with that in mind, I lost myself more than once to the daydream. Eventually, you have to start making decisions, which coincides with some of the more
just
powerful
jammed it there.
rises in the music
I was
that's
so scared
playing.
of
These
chopping my arm
decisions
off.
don't really matter, and yet they're enough to make you feel how Lewis is being pulled away from reality. Look at the pacing here. You're a boat sailing ever forward. You're not going to stop in the middle of this river and debate it. You have to make a decision, left or right. Think about it quick and decide. Follow the water, follow the images, follow your imagination. Not the same fish being chopped over and over and over. And I mean, look at the scale of this. Look at how this continues to snowball further and further out of control and into insanity. There's so much in this consuming daydream that it rivals everything else we've seen so far combined. The palace, the people, the spectacle. Eventually, you can't even see the conveyor belt or anything of your workstation anymore.
Look at him. That's so funny. You can see him being scared.
Or anything of your workstation anymore. Just the fish plopping down, ruining your hypnotized view.
He's so careful.
And then suddenly, you're brought back to reality. You're no longer in the fantasy world. You're no longer chopping the fish. You're walking through the cannery. Lewis is working alone, so lost and mesmerized that he isn't even picking up the fish. It's the same motion over and over as he's in a trance. You walk up the conveyor belt and join with his vision, and immediately see how that compares to the drudgery you just walked through. And the celebration here becomes something similar to Gregory's drowning in the bath.
Boobist?
Lewis is now consumed by the idea that his imagination is just as real as his physical body, and that the world he made for himself is superior
I just finished this game.
to the one he was originally born into. The parade here is encouraging that. These are the cheerleaders of his suicide. All that's left is for him to be ordained king of his own land, which requires him to bow his head and receive his crown.
Yippee!
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
All that's left for us, though, is to climb to the final room of the house.
So dark.
Edith's old bedroom. The layer of the story that we're in is about to loop into itself as she pulls out the book from the beginning on the boat and starts to write the words that we've been reading this whole time, as her son. When I first saw this ending, I thought it was too abrupt. My second time through, I realized that the ending doesn't start when they leave the house.
I just realized this whole thing
it starts
is in
when
her...
Edith lays down on the bed and
this whole
picks up
game
the
is her
pen.
notebook.
Viewed that way, this ending is satisfying. It has most of the answers for what's happened to this family, even though you could have also worked it out before now. You go through a night after Lewis's funeral when Dawn decides they all need to leave the house. This is an escalation between the deaths of both of her sons. When Milton went missing, Dawn sealed up all the rooms in the house. This is speculated by Edith as a way to keep whatever Milton found from escaping linked to the curse that's killing them. Edie fought against this by drilling the peepholes to the rooms and, I'd think, putting those decorative plates underneath them to mark their lives. These were her shrines after all, and Dawn had just locked them away from her. With Lewis's death, Dawn has decided that this isn't enough anymore. They all need to leave, Edie included, which leads to a fight on this last night. Edie baits Edith away from the dinner table with the promise of a present in the library, which you go to find as you control a younger Edith. You hear the two of them arguing in the dining room as you walk, find a book, and sink the most layers deep that this story gets. By my count, we're the boy on the boat, then reading the book, then Edith writing the book, then reading Edie's book within that book that Edith wrote. In this book, Edie is telling the story of when there was a supernaturally strong earthquake that allowed her to walk the seabed to visit the old house that Odin died in. This progresses just like most of
One Easter egg I added, I made her write Tom for Molly's story.
the other sequences we've gone through, and it seems to be building to this grand reveal of exploring the old house. You can see it shift in reality here from the
Secret
old wreck
Easter
to a
egg for
pristine
yourself.
version when Edie unlocks the gate. But the satisfaction of exploring it is quite literally ripped away from us when Dawn interrupts Edith reading the book. They struggle over it and it tears apart.
Mom.
A great detail here is that the words stop abruptly on the page, because this is Edith's recounting of a memory. She was prevented from reading further, so in her mind, she doesn't know what the rest of the words were,
fucking
so it just
detail.
stops right here suddenly on the page.
Really cool
Edie
detail.
refuses to leave with them. Dawn and Edith still
Oh,
go.
I love
Edie dies that night
details!
alone in the house, well alone as she can be with all of her dead children seemingly haunting it. Dawn is the next to die of an unspecified illness sometime after they leave, and then we go through a birth scene and maybe a death scene too, as Edith's child is brought into the world. It's not explicitly said, but it's heavily implied that Edith dies in childbirth. The date of her death on her tombstone supports that, at the very least. And that's the ending, which means we're finally done with the commentary walkthrough and can start discussing what just happened.
Oh, I'm ready.
The villain of this story is Edith Finch,
What?
Senior, great-grandmother
okay.
Edie. The most important
Why'd
line
you start it like that? Edith Finch, Senior.
is Edith Finch, Senior,
I was like,
great-grandmother
"No,
Edie. The most important
no
lines of
way."
the whole story are spoken near the end when you're walking through the library. Dawn and Edie say this.
Edith has a
Fair.
right to know these stories. My children are dead because of your stories.
Which is an echo of Edith's words earlier as she walked along the water.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse.
It's like they fucking manifested a curse.
Edie is obsessed with the family curse. This presents itself with a chicken or the egg sort of problem. See, it's clear that the Finches already believed they were cursed before coming to America, but it's not clear if Edie was
surely
truly
locking the doors on your lost son was the
invested in it
curse's
before that
fault.
point. While that detail about her wanting the cemetery to be constructed before the house might support that she was already fully committed to
Manifest
the
the
curse narrative,
ancestral curse,
that might have
girly.
been out of respect to her father.
Wait,
and
hold
that
on, I
she'll be
missed that,
fully
sorry.
committed to about her wanting the cemetery to be constructed before the house might support that she was already fully committed to the curse narrative, that might have been out of respect to her father, and the giant statue they built of him to immortalize the moment that the old house sank. Any and every family will experience tragedy, cruel, relentless tragedy that can feel targeted when the losses come quick and packed together just at a chance. It's easy to imagine a group that went through such an unlucky time that they had to create a reason for it, create a boogeyman to point to and proclaim that's the reason. These losses have a purpose. It may be evil and malicious, but it's something. The deaths are happening for a reason, they're not pointless. And as Walter says, a family living with this for so long may get used to that curse. It may even start to feel almost friendly as it waits outside the door.
Even a monster on the other side.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. If you really believed in the curse, you'd be more careful.
The door starts to feel normal.
This is exactly what has happened to Edie, but where I'm uncertain is whether or not she was like this before the first death of one of her children, before Molly died. We're going to go through the deaths again now, armed with a different perspective. That not only is there no curse, but that Edie's obsession may have contributed in some way and caused at least a few of these deaths.
Oh, this is
or
exciting.
at least warped the family's reaction to them. And we'll start here because Molly's death is Edie's fault.
Yes!
Edie sent her daughter to bed starving. This by itself is questionable, but fine, but Molly obviously isn't the one who decorated the bathroom with poisonous mistletoe. More damning than this is that the bedroom door was locked from the outside. This alone is alarming enough, but her plea to come out and finally eat something is dismissed by Edie, who tells her to go to bed. The death is still an accident. It's caused by neglect. It isn't murder, but this is how Edie loses her first child. Not from a curse, not from a monster, but from a shitty decision on how she punished her daughter.
Oh, this is so satisfying to watch.
Continues.
Oh, this is so satisfying to watch!
Imagine being Edie for a moment. Imagine the guilt and shame. Now imagine how much better it would be to have a curse to blame this on. And at first this may seem far-fetched, and I'm not saying that Edie wasn't devastated by this death, but there's a mountain of evidence in the house that shows her to be a person who reveled in all of the attention and mythology that her family name began to earn.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Her husband died building a slide outside of the house, which, as we recall from the beginning, was shaped like a dragon.
This.
Instead of this being a simple accident, Edie tells this story that Sven was killed by a dragon. Not only does she say this, but she has a shrine in her room dedicated to this accident, along with a newspaper announcing the story framed like it's a collector's item. Worse than all of this is the picture of Sven actually falling to his death that's sitting right next to it. These things are left out on display as something that she wanted to see and remind herself of every day, just like every other death in the family.
She is weird for that.
Because I want to prove this without any shadow of a doubt before I pass judgment on her for some more of these deaths.
Wait, yeah, I didn't even think of that. That is
Barbara's
so
room
weird.
is even more damning than the photograph of Sven falling. This comic was made in response to Barbara's murder. It's a pulpy,
usually
sort
cope
of
differently than
trashy
basically
tabloid
damning
account of the
multiple
death of a young girl
generations.
who didn't even make it to 20. That's already a little inappropriate, but it's even worse that Edie not only wanted to read it, but kept it on display in her dead daughter's room. Imagine the twisted need for this curse to be validated so badly that you accept such a thing and even begin to treasure it. But this is only the first initial layer of Edie's depravity with this comic book, because there are details within it that only someone in the family would know, that only Edie herself would know.
Like
this
the
story
fucking
is a
secret
dramatized,
tunnels.
unreliable version of events, and yet the layout of the house is correct. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, okay, artistic license, it would be confusing to have a whole other house and to make it just for this death scene. Look, I agree, but there's a specific detail here that can't be explained away like that.
And the key.
Whoever wrote this book knew about the secret key in the music box, which is a real, true thing that not even Edith knew. You use this learned knowledge from the comic to progress to the next area. Which means someone in the family had to collaborate with whoever made this comic, or at least give an interview with these details, and the only candidate for that is Edie herself. Once this clicks, a lot of the story becomes really sickeningly clear. You start to see the contents of Edie's bedroom in a new light, especially your second time through.
Oh my god, I wish I looked through
Look
it
at
more.
her flourishing in the attention of another newspaper article about how she refused to leave her home because of a forest fire. Look at another article framed here about a mole man living underneath the Finch house. Something that Edie took part in and gave an interview about.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch
Edie's
house.
just a fucking
My mom
attention
was
whore.
furious.
I'm not shocked that Dawn was furious because the date on this article is 1991. The article is clearly about Walter, who at the time of publication was the only child that Edie had left. Imagine the kind of person who gives an interview encouraging that kind of speculation about their son who lives in such daily, paralyzing fear that he had to lock himself away in a protected bunker underneath the house. And almost 20 years into that isolation, his mother is making fun of him in the papers in order to further the image of the cursed family name.
Edie did live the
Let's
longest.
just keep going here. How was letting
Oh,
Walter
yeah.
live under the house a rational solution to what he was going through? The way that Edie responded to Barbara's death, and likely embellishing the cursed monster angle of the murder that Walter witnessed as a child, might have led him to want to be away from her as well as the fear of the curse. It's very telling that when he feels like he's finally overcome his fear, that he takes a sledgehammer and knocks his own path through a wall instead of just opening the door and going upstairs to his family. That was the better, more attractive choice of the two.
God damn.
Instead of encouraging Walter to get help and work through his problems, Edie facilitated him becoming a hermit and living as a family mole man mascot below the house. At this point, you might be thinking,
it's a game,
okay,
but it's
well, this
basically a
seems sort of
movie. It's
obvious
really
now. Edie used the curse as a way of dealing with the family tragedy. That's what I meant at the start when I called her sympathetic. I
Beautiful
really do
shot.
understand this about her. She and the rest of the family have suffered a tremendous amount over these generations. But there's another angle here that makes this so nefarious, because the curse wasn't just a way to accept the death of so many children, it was used as a scapegoat to justify some insanely reckless behavior. And this has trickled down from Edie and Sven to corrupt every generation since then. As Edith herself says,
a YouTube video like
I don't
review.
know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
the nature of these stories tries to hide this from you. Imagine Edie encouraging Sam to write this beautiful letter about his dead brother. Or imagine Molly so familiar with how inevitable her death is at the hands of the curse, that she writes a journal entry about it while she thinks a hungry monster is about to eat her from under the bed. Look at the sublime emotion and adoration that Sam pours into this letter about Calvin being so adventurous and fearless that he was determined to swing around the top
Yeah, I
of
just
the
finished it right
branch,
before I watched
that
this.
he was so certain that he could fly, that
This
he
is
needed
not an
to
anime
fly,
gang, just
that
tell
he
her
went
you
for
like
it.
her.
Now look at this scene again and realize that Edie and Sven built a swing on a tree on the top of a goddamn fucking cliff where even at a normal swing arc, the kids would be close to dangling to death if the slightest thing went
That's what
wrong.
I'm fucking saying.
Or the pathetic looking broken fence that might be more inclined
That's
to
what
impale
I'm
them if they fell rather
saying.
than stop them from going over the edge.
Oh my god.
Also notice that he already has a broken leg here. You have to understand that we only get to see the death scenes. We don't get to see the other careless behavior that only resulted in injuries, not death. Look at Edith
Oh my
herself,
god,
who,
yes.
22 weeks into her pregnancy, is climbing and jumping over this house. Look at what she's doing here when she even admits it to us. Imagine how this branch could have snapped underneath her weight. She could have broken her neck and died right then, or broken her legs and died slowly on her own with no one to help her in this house in the middle of nowhere. Or she could have lost the baby.
This is
really
an OSHA
imagine how
violation.
fitting this death would have been in context of the others. You can even imagine finding the unfinished book about why she came back to the house, just like Molly's journal entry. and a tree with a broken branch on top of her tombstone. Sam's death is the same. Why risk taking such a photograph and not confirm that the deer was dead? His daughter was weeping over it for a long time and he didn't even check. It could have hurt her instead of him. Why not drag the animal to a safer place instead of tempting fate with this dramatic pose?
She's like,
because the Finches don't do safe and reasonable.
I don't think it's dead
They're
yet.
creative, brilliant, determined people who have that ambition shackled with the curse as a reason to be reckless.
Living life on the edge.
Beaten into them by their matriarch's obsession with legendarily
I agree, this
bad
was the
luck.
most deserved.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Sam dies from falling off a cliff here, just like his twin brother Calvin. Then we come back to Gregory and Gus. Each of these deaths is the fault of each of their parents. No matter what Sam's letter might say, and no matter how much he may try to find some meaning in the death of his 1-year-old son, this is purely the fault of the mother. You don't leave a baby alone in a bath.
Yeah.
In the scene, Gregory manages to get the water back on and drowns when the tub floods, but even the small amount of water at the beginning is enough.
Yeah, as long as
for
they
a
go
baby
face
to die.
down.
This is disgustingly irresponsible, but it's the curse, right? It's not that the Finch children weren't being looked after well enough.
Oh, this
it's
is so
a supernatural
satisfying.
force that's twisting their fates and killing them while they're young. Gus is almost the exact same thing. The mother Kay neglected the baby in the bath, the father Sam neglected the boy at the wedding, and forgot about him flying his kite out of spite in the storm. He wasn't happy about his new stepmother, so he refused to take part in the ceremony. Sam was so pissed that he just let the kids sulk in the storm, and that killed him. He drowned after being swept into the ocean, just like Gregory in the bath. Which brings us to Dawn and her children, and where things get a lot more complicated. Dawn didn't tell any of these stories to Edith, as we know from her comments. This is what I meant earlier when I said Dawn is the most normal out of all of them, likely because she realized the kind of damage that magical thinking about death can cause. But you can see that a little sliver of Edie's ideology had gotten to her, because when they adopted a stray cat, she named it Molly, which is something Edith only fully understands the significance of after reading the first journal in the house.
I forgot about that too.
There's also more evidence of Edie's obsession when Dawn returns to the house with her kids. Any other great-grandmother would have realized that it's time to let things go, clear out the rooms, and have the next generation move in while the house moves on. Instead, she makes the house bigger. It grows like a tumor, like an abomination in the forest, just so Edie's meticulously crafted shrines, each with their death portraits that she paints herself, can remain preserved.
I did not think of
As Edith
that.
says, things take a turn for the worse when Edie gifts Milton with a castle, a very grandiose gesture, shortly after which he goes missing. Milton's death
Oh my God,
is
I need
the
to know
only
this
one I
part.
can't reconcile with my thoughts on the story.
No!
It's important that he's missing, not dead, for reasons that we'll go into shortly. But
No,
because
please
of
be
this mystery,
reconciled.
I ended up Googling this and found an answer by the developers.
Thank God.
Giant Sparrow also made the unfinished Swan, and Milton's disappearance into a painting is meant to be a connection between that and What Remains of Edith Finch. I don't know how I feel about that, because it implies there is some sort of supernatural element after all, but it could also just be a cute Easter egg and a way to link projects.
I'm gonna think about it as a
given
cute
there's
Easter
no
egg.
information suggesting this in the story whatsoever, otherwise it doesn't fit with a lot of what else is said in this story. The reason that it's vital that Milton is missing and never found is that Dawn is stuck because of it. She seals the rooms in the house in reaction to losing her boy, when it would make far more sense to take her surviving children and just leave. When she seals the rooms, it isn't to keep something trapped inside. It's to keep her children from getting in and exposing themselves to the stories. Edie clearly disagrees, which is why they start a minor war over it, and she drills the peepholes. Dawn can't leave because she's convinced Milton is missing and will eventually come back, as shown by her refusal to put a death date on his tombstone in the cemetery. Also, these ornaments that Edie decorated them with must have been a thrilling return to form for her, a refreshing return to thriving under the curse that made her family infamous. It's probably this drought of attention between deaths that led her to doing the article on Walter and the comic book on Barbara.
Oh,
Just imagine how
yeah.
quick and eager Edie had to have been to get this crown on Lewis's grave when she herself was dead so soon after his funeral. Lewis's death shows the lasting damage that Edie's stories can have, and it's for that reason that I consider his sequence to be the most important. Sealing the rooms prevented Edith from getting inside of them, but Lewis was 15 when Milton went missing and had all those years of Edie taking him from room to room. And just imagine how much those stories were embellished over the years, and how mundane the versions we experienced must be since Edie wasn't around to build on the simple foundation. For Lewis, 7 years after the rooms were sealed, he has to live with the loss of his brother, and that his life has become depressing and dull. He's in such a bad place that he understandably has to visit a psychiatrist for help, and Dawn tries to steer him toward normalcy with a very mundane job. Nothing like the castle that Milton had, nothing like the glamorous stories that Edie kept telling and retelling. Is it so unexpected that he began such involved daydreams then? Is it so surprising that he began to yearn for something more fantastical than what
even the psychiatrist knew that it wasn't surprising.
Something closer to those stories of family members that he was meant to be a part of and equal to. Where's his version of the great-great-grandfather that packed up a whole house to sail it across an ocean, with a constant reminder of it sitting in the water outside the sea every day as he went to work? He made a story for himself instead that got him. No curse, no monster, no accident. Lewis killed himself because of this contrast between how dull his life was to what he must have felt was owed to him.
My children are dead because of your stories!
Which makes Dawn's desperation at the end make so much more sense. With Lewis's death, she has to admit that Milton isn't coming back. She's accepting the death of both of her sons at the same time while knowing she has to protect Edith better than she did Lewis. It's that desperation you can see as she physically fights with her daughter to stop her from finishing even one story that Edie left for her. One more outrageous than any other that came before now. A massive earthquake, visions in the fog, a magical house in the ocean, returning to your childhood home that's full of ghosts, something that Edith herself is doing in this story right now. I felt this when the book was torn away. I wanted to see the end of Edie's story. I wanted to see who would just turn the light on. I think most people will feel cheated that you don't get to see this ending, and that the real story stops so suddenly after this. But that's the point, isn't it? It's telling that Edie outlives almost everyone in this story. She definitely gets the high score in terms of age, which makes you wonder about her attitude toward the curse that she's never really afraid of like Walter was, or any of the others, despite being the one that encouraged the thoughts about it. Her recklessness shows only at the end here, with a throwaway comment from Dawn about Edie mixing alcohol with her medication. She dies that night, probably from this. Poisoned, just like Molly was. As for Dawn, it's not surprising at all that a woman who witnessed her father die, lost 2 brothers, and then 2 boys would have her health suffer in response to that. Unlike Edie, Dawn didn't have a curse to unload all of that emotional work onto. There was no scapegoat for Dawn. Edith dying in childbirth is a tragedy, but those strike every family. Mixed in with all of the deaths caused by carelessness and neglect will be genuine, unavoidable loss. It's her son that deserves at least a little attention. He has a cast on his arm just like Calvin did on his leg. It's a detail that was deliberately included, and I wonder if it's trying to say something. It could just be a routine injury that many children go through, or it could be a sign that there's already a connection between him and the Finch name that follows him. That the stories in the book and his visit to the house may persist and be passed down with a new generation after him. The danger here is reading too much into details like this, but I think with the kind of story that What Remains of Edith Finch has, that it's safe to say that almost everything is intentional, but that doesn't mean there aren't happy accidents or mistakes.
Stories with the
For
details
instance,
like
both
this.
Edie and Lewis's rooms have sealed doors, which doesn't make
I love when the
any
story
sense.
makes
Edie
sense.
would have still been using the room after Milton vanished, and Dawn and Edith left the house right after Lewis's funeral, right before Edie died. Unless Dawn went back to seal those rooms afterward, but then she would have also had to drill the peepholes, so yeah, that seems like an error to me. No story is going to be without a few little issues like this, and they definitely don't ruin it. There's enough attention to detail that I do think the writers have an answer for nearly
BioShock? I gotta play
everything, which is
BioShock.
why I enjoyed piecing it all together. It may surprise some longtime viewers, but I do enjoy stories that are open to interpretation, but only when there are actual
I played,
answers.
I finished, I finished, and then I watched
Leads
this.
to nothing at all that I view it as a waste of time, because then it's like an artist slathering blobs of paint on a canvas without an effort to shape them. They don't want to make a picture, just color.
You
They don't
shaded
want
Little
to make
Nightmares
a story,
for that
they just
earlier.
want it to look like one. I thoroughly enjoyed What Remains of Edith Finch, and I hope you enjoyed me talking about it.
Oh,
nearly as much.
amazing.
This isn't the usual thing I do on the channel, but I love stories, and I get a lot of requests to dig into narratives.
Oh,
I think
so
most
good.
people are going to be able to see a little of themselves in these characters, or something of their family, or a memory of interacting with them in the Finches. It made me really think about the power that older generations can have on newer ones, and the troubling
Firewatch.
thought that
Oh, someone
family
recommended
traditions can
Firewatch
influence
earlier
more
too.
about ourselves than we might realize. How we think, how
I
we
have them all
approach
in my,
things, and even some of the strong.
Oh, someone said Inside. I've played Inside. I loved
That we just
Inside.
continue to perpetuate and assume is right without really thinking about it. Whether or not that was intentional on the part of What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, yeah,
I can't
someone
say,
sent
but I like to
Firewatch.
think so.
Awesome game.